Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you? How is everything? Today, we're going to have some announcements as it's the first week of school, and always there are new announcements to make for the year. We will have some announcements for the due date while I admit everyone in. I apologize for being some minutes late because it was very slow. Um, it will cut off the meeting right away when it ends. Okay, so when it cuts off, it cuts off. Let's say it ended. It'll cut off in 40 minutes. Okay, so when the meeting cuts off, it's ended. Okay, and I want you, number one, to open up your camera. I want you to open up your audio, and I want you to know that the school rule right now is to open up the camera and you're present. Okay, for attendance. From that, we can do more participation, we can talk more, and I can get to know you more. Okay, and obviously it'll be more interactive for the sessions. Yes, in this semester. This semester will be longer, so we'll have more things to do. Last class, we talked about how you can organize yourself for each class. Okay, so that's what's important. Okay, and what also is important is to keep up to date for the new announcements always, especially that online we'll always have new announcements. We will always have new things that we need to uh, you need to know, and you need to know the due dates. You need to know the information, the new topics. Okay, Course Novia will always be our resource. So I want you to always go back to Course Novia. Okay, so until everyone comes in, Nuran and Raneem, I want you to open up your camera so you can be present today. Okay, it's the school rule. Please open up your camera so I can count you in as present for today's session. Okay. The sessions will be provided on Course Novia, so you can review what we talked about in the sessions. And please make sure that you always review what we talked about. If it was, right now we're doing the winter packet, and hopefully soon we will start with the new topic. Okay, when we finish up the quick review we're doing, so that it helps you out to start the new topics. Okay, so especially we're going to go into social problems, and we're going into different theories, social theories this semester. So make sure you review with us in the winter packet. If you did the winter packet, that's great. I have it. You need to submit it in the link. If you did, some of you guys I graded for you, so it was great. I loved it. Good job. The others, please make sure you do as soon as possible. Okay? So good morning, Nuran. Good morning, Raneem. I wanted to open up your camera. Let me see if there's anyone. Okay, take your time. Yes. And let's make sure it's a quiet place and I can see your face clearly. Yes. And yes, so let me see if anyone came in to admit. Okay, let us start. Okay, so let me right now share the screen with you for the Course Novia, just to make a new announcements. Okay, a few announcements for you from the Course Novia. So let's open the Course Novia. While I'm opening it, I want you to know that, okay, Ali Bustani came. I want you to know that there are always going to be new announcements. So when I make new announcements, please make sure you're on top of things. Anyways, I bet your other teachers will. So make sure you know them, yes, and also make sure to always go back to Course Novia. So let us right now go to the Course Novia website and go to Sociology course, okay? Okay. So while it's opening up, let me just tell you the new announcements, and then I'll tell you where you can submit. just to make it clear. Okay, so let me share it here. Okay, good morning, Nuran. Wow, how are you? It's great to see you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How is everything going? Great?
Yes.
Okay, it's the first time I see you. Maybe I saw you before in the beginning of the year. And maybe I saw you in parents meeting, but I met your parents and it was great to see them. Okay, so say hi to them. And I hope you the best for this semester. Okay, you did a great job last semester. Keep it up.
Thanks, Miss.
You're welcome. And I hope Raneem is here. Okay, we have Yasin Gaman. Great. And Ali Bustani, please open up your camera so that I can see you. It's part of the attendance. Because you're here, so open up the camera. It's a schoolroom. Raneem and Yasin and Ali Bustani. Okay, great.
Okay,
So,
1 minute, Miss.
okay,
Give
take
me 1
your
minute.
time. Right now, I'm going to share with you the course Onovia. Okay, so let's share it here. Okay, so as you can see, the course Onovia is right in front of you. Okay. So we're going to go down to right now. These are the past topics we did in trimester 1. You can go back to them if you want for the winter packet right now. But for right now, I want to go to okay. You have the last box here, incomplete sociology coursework. I know most of you guys did many work over the vacation. Excellent job. Okay. Some of you did all of them, so great job also. For the people who still want to turn in their work, it's right here. You go into the link. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm just giving you like a grade if you turned in, and then afterwards I'll put the grades in when the system opens for the final grade, okay? Because right now we don't have the grades with us, so when we grade the exams and we grade everything else, the assignments and the quizzes that you turned in, I will put it in the grade, and obviously it'll increase your grade. It'll be better for you. Number one. Number two, I want you to know that the homeworks and assignments that you turn in will be counted as 10% late. Now for today, there's a new announcement that you have until January 17th to turn it in. Okay, so any late work you have, here it's the January 12th, it's January 17th. Okay, so January 17th is the last day. After January 17th, we don't accept. Okay, that's the last day for trimester 1. If you have the winter packet, if you have the missing quizzes or assignments or homework for the trimester 1. Okay, so please, after January 17th, after that finish, we're going to put the grades in the system and it will be your final grade. Okay, so so make sure that January 17th, before that, you turned in. Okay, so January 17th is the day where we'll stop getting in any work for trimester 1, if it's the winter packet, if it's any other missing quizzes, assignments, or projects. Okay, because you had you had the projects, which is a big part of your grade. I think all of you did the projects, but in case if anyone did not, or anything else, the missing you have in mind to do, missing homework or assignments, please do it before January 17th. January 17th, it's the last day. Okay, so this is important announcements to make. Just label it in your calendar, January 17th. I will change it here. Okay, that January 17th will be the last day for anything, including the winter packet. Make sure you do the winter packet if you did not do it yet. Okay, it's a good part of your grade, and it makes your grade better. Okay, it's fun, it's easy, it's not that hard actually. When you do the packet, you'll see it's a nice review for you. The ones that did packet was a great job, excellent. Nuran, your packet was very good. Good job. And anybody else who turned in the packet lately, I'll grade them, and I will make sure that's in the grade, but before January 17th. Okay. Okay, so any questions on that? Yes. So here, this is the link. Please turn in this link the missing quizzes, assignments, homework, and the project if you need to still do it for the from trimester 1. For the one before, okay, here, let's go back to the page. Okay, here in the topic for week 15 revision sessions and Christmas winter packet, you have here the Christmas winter packet link. Okay, you go in and you submit it. Great, so please submit it if you did not. Okay, so and by also January 17th. Okay, so January 17th is the last day. Please submit it as soon as possible. Okay, because it's part of the trimester 1 grade. If you do not, you'll get a 0 for it. Okay.
Miss,
Okay. Yes.
Where's this the Christmas
I
pack?
don't have school clothing.
The school clothing. Okay. For these details, ask the school. Okay. So ask the administration or ask the school. Who you should ask. Okay. Because I don't know. So these details, ask the school for. Okay.
ماشي بس يعني افتح الكاميرا وهاخد attendance حتى وما عنديش الكلوزنج.
Yes, it's fine. Yes, obviously. Okay. So please look for the attendance. What's important for me is that you have the camera open, like Nuran and like me. You see, I'm just sitting down. I have only me, okay, and the background is calm and there's no noise or anything distractive. And the same thing with Nuran, as you can see. Okay. That's how it is, right? So Raneem and Ali, you just have to sit down, be attentive, right, as if you're in class, and just no anything distractive sound or anything you have, and then just concentrate and attend with the class because it's part of the attendance grade. So you're here, so open up. Yes, exactly, that's it. Okay, that's great. So just make sure that you are, yes, okay, just make sure that you are there, and you're present exactly like Ali is. Okay, good job. Great. Okay. Raneem, we're waiting for you. Yes. So make sure that from now on you have the camera on. Okay. Because if you don't have it, you're considered absent. It's a new school rule. Okay. So let us start. Okay. So it's great to see you, Ali. And hopefully this semester we're gonna have some more participation and more. Maybe we can have more like in social problems debates or activities. We'll see how it goes. Okay, for sure. So right now, just to make sure with the announcements, okay, and I hope Yassine is here too, so he can open up the camera. The winter packet and also the winter packet January 17th and everything else from trimester 1 you have missing to turn it in before January 17th. January 17th is the last day. After that, we don't take it in from you. We'll work on the grades, your exams, and everything else, and get the final grade. Okay. So, any questions on that? Okay, the link for the Christmas winter packet for sociology class is here, and the link for the missing work is here. Okay. Okay, so let us right now go into the winter packet. So why don't we open it up from here? I see in the link. Now, it's a nice review for us. What I'm going to do today is I'll review with you Karl Marx and Max Weber because, yes, it's right here. Okay. So we took last semester about Karl Marx and Max Weber, right? Okay. So Max Weber is very important and Karl Marx is very important. Can anyone tell me what is the characteristic of Karl Marx, main characteristics of Karl Marx in his theory, and main characteristics of Max Weber in his theory? Okay, so this is the winter packet. You have the definition and you have everything else before that. Okay, so we took the definition of sociology, sociology as a social science, and then the founder of sociology, Emile Durkheim and Auguste Comte, culture and research methods, important terms of sociology, right, statistics and application. And today we'll talk about Karl Marx and Max Weber, Herbert Spencer and Wright, and we'll do the review of the theories, all of them, including Auguste Comte and Emile Durkheim. Okay? Let's go down to the place for, yes, this is it. Yes. Okay, Karl Marx and Max Weber. Read the article and write the points. Basically, you need to read the article that I have for both theories and their importance, right, in the world of sociology. And I want you to write the main points, okay? So basically, if you did it, that's great. And it's very nice. It's a very nice article that has a lot of information. Who did it? Can you tell me what are the points you put, if you remember? Here, some of the points from the article that they talk about Karl Marx and Max Weber. What are some points you wrote? If you did the winter packet, or if you're doing it, you're doing this activity. If you can share with us. You'll notice some points are things that we didn't talk about, but it's a nice activity because it gives you an idea of how they are both in the world, okay, of sociology and in the world in general, not only sociology, which is very nice because you see their importance and you see how important sociology is as a field in the world. And wherever you go, if you go into philosophy, if you go to social science, if you go into work, business, you'll find that it's very important. Okay. So, for example, they talked here, I thought it was a very nice point about Weber, that he was influenced by Kant. Okay, so let me just, this is a nice, it's a kind of fun information because we took for him more about the business world and the hierarchy of business and more about how he changed the world in the sense of bureaucracy, how you organize business, how you organize bureaucracy. Okay, can you see me? Yes, it just cut off and then it came back. So that's great. Okay, so let me share again the screen. Okay, so you have Weber here. Yes, let me just label it. Some points, okay? These points, you'll find some of them we didn't take, but they're really nice, as I said, in the world of sociology, in the world in the sense of these two huge philosophers, huge, founders of the new world of sociology, really. So Auguste Comte and Emile Durkheim, they're old. Okay, so let's just, this is nice that Kant is a very important philosopher from Germany, and he was influenced by him. Okay. So Weber learned that to understand the human sciences, you have to understand the motivations of the people involved. That's very important, okay? So remember we said about the people involved, right, was important for Max Weber. What did we say, remember, about Max Weber? What was the situation of the workers back then with Karl Marx? Was it good or bad in Europe, remember? Ali, Nuran, and Ranim. So if you can, and Yasin, if he's here, if you can remember, what was the situation there? Was it good, the workers? How were the workers, how were they approached, right? So here he's talking about the people involved in society in the sense of at work, at the workplace, at the organizations, right? So how was it? Okay, so here he's saying you have to understand the motivations of the people involved. Weber explained that you must look at the historical context and reject the idea of universal laws because of the fact that people have free will. Okay, so he believed in free will, right? This is very important, okay? Weber was also influenced by the German model, which seemed to motivate the majority of his work. And we talked about the German model, okay? Now, it influenced most of his work, which he also did the Protestant ethics, right? And also the hierarchy for the organizations that he did. You have the CEO at the top, and you have the other specializations in the bottom and everything else. Okay, so can anyone, just share with us, for example, how did that help us? How did that help society in the past? So Weber concentrating on motivation of the people, concentrating on free will rather than universal law. Okay, how did it? How did that? How did that affect? Okay, so try to remember. Okay, so we talked. Let me give you a kind of reminder. Remember, we talked about the workforce. I know we're now in the beginning. It's morning, and it's the beginning of the year. Let's do a kind of refresh. We talked about the workforce. The workforce were their conditions were very bad. People, the capitalists, the people who own the factories, the businesses, and the big corporations in Europe and elsewhere in the world, they were very strong, mainly in Europe, right? So Europe was the most industrialized, and industrial revolution happened in Europe. So what happened is that the factories there and all the business corporations and the huge corporations that were even stronger than the government, and they were the strongest part of society, they were very, very ruthless for profit, right? So the profit, how much you make in the end, okay, was the most important thing. It didn't matter if people died. It didn't matter the diseases, the negative part, the workforce, other segments of society, even government issues. They didn't care. What they cared about is the profit. The more profit they do, the more they change the direction of everything, and they implement new laws. Okay. So that's what's important. Okay, so how would you think in the situation where you have the workers, obviously they were in very bad situations, long hours of work, low wage because it gets more profit. There was no kind of any kind of overseeing for human rights, overseeing for workload, like we have today unions, you have today different organizations in the world that concentrate on the workforce and everything that has to do with work, right? So so how did that affect it? Okay, so he concentrated on obviously how to create a work environment that's very nice, very helpful for the CEO and for the top, right? And also for the working force. Okay, so both, and for society as a whole. It was very, very nice because he concentrated on free will. Okay, so how he organized the hierarchy concentrates on every person and what they want, right? And whatever their character is. So it's a kind of hierarchy, CEO and everyone else under, in the sense of whatever the person's character is, whatever the person's decisions make, it's comfortable, it's flexible, and affect negatively any other person or the corporation, okay, or the organization. That's what's important. The second thing is that you can find that he concentrated on the motivations of the people. Okay, so what motivates them? And that's you find in his model, that's you find in Protestant ethics, okay, and his work. And so that's very important. As you can see, Max Weber, his beauty is that it's very flexible, it's very beautiful, gives a lot of opportunities for work, and all segments of society, incorporates different cultures that were not incorporated before. and so it makes it very productive for society. Now you'll find Karl Marx is very, very different. Okay, so Karl Marx was inspired by Hegel. Remember, we said that Hegel is his co-author in the Communist Manifesto, right? He is more conflict-oriented. So he concentrates on the conflict, the struggle between classes. Not necessarily that he wants everyone to be happy. In the sense, it's more like a conflict for the working class, okay? And we said the working class was very, very bad situation. They had no rights, basically, and it was very bad to the degree that it was the main problem in Europe at that time, okay? There were a lot of protests there, protesting for their rights, and all segments of society was with them. So you can find that he was inspired by Hegel, and he was part of the Communist Party. The communism concentrates on the proletariat, which is the working class, okay? And we said the proletariat is the word used in Marxist theory for working class. So, and it is used also as theory in politics, not only in sociology. And you have, in the past, Russia was USSR, it used his theory in communism to rule in the government. Until now, there are different parties in the world that also uses his theory in politics, not only in sociology and in research. So he was also strongly influenced by the classical political economists who came up with the labor theory of value, okay? So he also came up with value, the labor theory of value. So he talked about value, okay? So obviously it's around the working class, different than Weber, okay? So I thought it would be nice just to kind of get a quick review for between Karl Marx and Max Weber. I would love you to read this article, okay? This article is very important. It compares the two. Let's go down just to something really important here. It's the difference between the two. Let's, 1 second. Okay, it's let's here change it to, okay, let's put it down. Okay. So here, as you can see, we talked about each one. Now we'll compare. Okay, so let us compare just the main idea here. In Marx's opinion, the mode of production is what shapes history. So Marx really talked about history. Remember, we talked about class struggle and history, okay? So Marx talked about history, and he talked about how class struggle and history affects economy and affects everything else, okay? And then in the end, what is the final conclusion for Karl Marx, according to Karl Marx? Who rules? The proletariat, right? Okay? Okay, so I talked a lot. I want you now to, I want to give a chance for you guys to talk. So I want Ali and Muran. Tell me, what is one thing you can tell me comparison between both? Between Karl Marx and
actually, if you'll excuse me for 1 minute, I need to go to the toilet.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks.
Okay, Muran, what's one comparison between both? So what is one comparison between what's it called, Max Weber here and Karl Marx? So Max Weber talks about the motivation, right? He's influenced by Kant, okay? And he's influenced by studies of motivation, the German model, where he uses it for his work. However, Karl Marx, who is he affected by? Yes?
Less workers
Excellent job.
and I think Karl Marx is lower than
Karl Marx is? So Karl Marx. So tell me what.
is better. Is better than
Okay,
no
here not. Okay, why do you think he's better?
better. No, he's not better. Max Weber is better than Karl Marx.
Okay, good. Okay, so look, in usually comparing, we don't necessarily. It's nice, for example, if you want to say one is better than the other, one is more practical than the other, or any kind of statement. I think you have to support it, right? So in that sense, that's important. That's number one. Number two, if you want to compare, usually what you would say, like for example, Karl Marx was affected by Hegel, right? And he had a different perspective. Okay, he's more a class struggle. He's more about historical perspective and the proletariat, right? In general. And then Max Weber is more about what?
Modernism.
Excellent. What is modernism? So here, relating to the article, focusing on motivation and German model. What is modernism?
It's about modern people.
Yes, modern and okay. So it's about remember the developing for the future, right? And the society facing the challenges of the future, okay? And so basically from the article, you would find that he was affected by the germ model, by motivation, by free will, right? So these characteristics, do you think these are important for modernism, for meeting the challenges of the future? What do you think? Yes? Do you think yes or no? I know it's early in
Yes.
the morning. Yes. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so yes. Okay, so these are just main points. I thought it would be nice from the article that you did for the winter packet, and it's nice for for you to review them so that
I cannot remember because I did it from a long time.
I know that's which is great. Okay, it's great, no problem. Okay, and today it's a nice review because it makes us have a nice base for us to start with social problems. So make sure Nuran, Ali, and Raneem, and everyone else who's listening to the session to review, what from the winter packet, or just have a quick review for these theories. Okay. Anyways, when we talk about social problems, we'll review them when it's necessary. But that's what's important. Okay. Okay. So let's go down right now to Spencer. And Turan. Okay. So Spencer and his giraffe. So the story of the giraffe and Spencer and how it is related to social norms and values in society. Okay, so here in this activity, what's important for you is to remember the picture that you had for the exam and what we talked about for the giraffe and the concept of evolutionary theory in sociology. Okay, so basically the story is that the giraffe is important for sometimes using this Spencer's approach in social problems for this semester. So we said that the concept is the giraffe when the neck is longer, the more the neck is longer, okay, the more the giraffe can eat more from the trees because the trees are really long. So the giraffes over this is not obviously 500 years or 1 or 2 years. It can take billions of years, so it takes a long time. Okay, so the concept is that the giraffe, the neck grows longer, and so when the neck grows longer, it's more effective for a giraffe to eat from the trees. And obviously, his main food, the giraffe, or the giraffe's main food is from the trees. So obviously, the giraffes that will stay and that will get more children and that will stay in the population for many years, over billions of years, will be the ones with long necks. So that's why the giraffes in the end, they had long necks. Okay, so in this theory, it's very important to know that it's based on the evolution theory of Charles Darwin, right? However, Spencer modified it for sociology, and he believed this approach is very effective in dealing with social problems and research and in the sociology field. Okay, so the social norms and values in society are very important. Okay, to use Spencer's evolutionary approach. So, for example, we have today, for example, the family. Okay, the family, for example, if the man or the woman are the main component or the main the head of the family or the component or the strength of the family, that goes back to the culture. Okay, sometimes you find the mom, sometimes you find the dad, sometimes both, right? So what makes it the mom? What makes it the dad? What makes it both, right? So what makes it like that? It goes back to the social norms and values, like the neck of the giraffe, that makes society more productive. You know, makes the individuals and families meet challenges of society, right? So obviously the characteristics, like for example, if it makes the families stronger and it makes it more productive and more accommodated to the society, that the woman is stronger in the family, that means that the woman would be, right? Logically, okay? The same thing with the man or both, okay? The same thing, for example, if there's a social norm or tradition like being really nice all the time, you know, some societies, cultures, it's very important to be really nice all the time, even if it's not part of your character, okay? That means that for the society to be effective and to develop, it needed that, okay? So that's what we took last time, and it's a nice review, okay, about how Spencer's theory is related to society. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
In 1 minute, but I want to get a t-shirt.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so okay, we have still 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, until everyone comes in, I'm going to just recap announcements, okay, for anyone who's listening. So let's stop sharing here. Okay, so hi Ali. Okay, and Nuran will come in seconds, and Yassine, Asma, and Ranim, I want you to open up your camera. If you don't
Miss,
open up
my
the
camera is
camera,
not
then you're
working.
not. Yes. Okay. So
Miss, my
that's,
camera is not working.
I know you. So make sure it works because that's the new school rule. It's a school rule. It's
Why يعني مش فاهم.
I don't know. So anyways,
Okay,
it's better, right?
ماشي.
Because for the class, we can see each other, and hopefully this semester we'll do more talking. I want you to do more of the talking this semester than me. Okay? So I want to see you. And also it's a new school, okay, on Zoom. So for you to be attended in class, you have to open up the camera. Okay? Yes. So just to recap for the announcements, make sure you turn in the missing assignments and quizzes. And make sure you you turn in the winter packet, okay? Make sure also you do all of them, you turn in before January 17th, okay? Right now, I want you to know that the course Sonovia will be still the same, it will be the main source. The only change will be that the sessions will be on Zoom. Yes? So make sure always when you go